the Golden State Warriors are expected to do a very bizarre thing, with it currently being reported they are expected to pursue a trade for New Orleans Pelicans' Jrue Holiday in the offseason. What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about some more NBA news, with some news that I definitely didn't expect to be really talking about, especially when it came to these two players slash teams. But it is currently a big report out there right now that the Golden State Warriors are expected to pursue Jrue Holiday in a trade, per NBC Sports' Tom Haberstroh. I think that's how you say it. But again, I'm not exactly too sure why they would really be wanting to do this. Now, I know there was some kind of interest of going real small ball in the last offseason when they actually acquired DAngelo Russell. It was reported that if DAngelo Russell and Steph Curry were, going to mesh well, then they would actually try a way where they could have D'Lo at shooting guard, Steph at point guard, and then have Klay Thompson at small forward. Now, I'm not exactly the biggest fan of this whatsoever, but I can definitely see a way where the Golden State Warriors are still having this thinking, but instead of having DAngelo Russell now at shooting guard, they would have Jrue Holiday there. Now, in my opinion, straight away, I think the Golden State Warriors experiment with having Andrew Wiggins on the team and seeing if they can try and contend for a championship with having Steph, Klay, Wiggins, Draymond, and whoever they go out and get center, I think that's perfectly fine, as the defense would definitely be above average, and that offense should also be above average for the team. But if you go out and move Klay Thompson to small forward, I feel like that's a little bit risky in the first place. Not just that, they've already tried the experiment with DAngelo Russell and it didn't work at all. But I feel like where the experiment could actually potentially work a lot better is with Jrue Holiday, and that is because Jrue Holiday, he's a defensive beast. Like, we all know that Holiday is a very, very good defender in the NBA. And if they were going to try and run this mega small ball, type of system and offense, then I definitely feel like Jrue Holiday could be a player to kind of work it with. But again, in my opinion, I really just don't like this at all. I think it would be a lot better of an option, in my opinion, just to keep Klay Thompson at shooting guard. He is a great defender at shooting guard, a great perimeter defender. He's just really, really good, a really good defender at shooting guard. But when it comes to small forward, I've never really seen Klay, kind of run at small forward. Like, even when they had their small ball, system and lineup, you never really saw it happen, as they'd always have Iggy or KD really at that small forward position. So again, we never just really got to see it happen at all. And again, I'm pretty sure there were times where Quinn Cook and Curry and Klay were on the court together, but those were very, very rare moments, and moments that didn't really last long, and I just don't feel like something like this could potentially happen. Not just that, there is no way that the New Orleans Pelicans actually agree to this deal. It's pretty clear to see now that the Pelicans really do want to run it back. It may look like they want to trade Chris Paul for Lonzo. We've obviously heard, we'll trade Lonzo for Chris Paul rather, sorry. We've obviously heard rumors on that one, but I honestly believe they're just going to run it back and see how their team can go now with a fully healthy, roster. I just don't see a way where they would ever trade Jrue Holiday, who's really their best leader on the team. He's their best defender. He is a very consistent shooter. He's just really a complete package, especially, for his age and just kind of how he's been put into this team. Why would they want to trade Jrue Holiday for Andrew Wiggins and Andrew Wiggins' $30 million deal? I mean, that just wouldn't make any sense to me at all. And it's not like they're going to be keeping Wiggins, because they're not going to, well, if this move was to happen, because they're not going to play Wiggins as six-man off the bench and then have Jrue Holiday at shooting guard. So it's just not exactly going to happen at all. So if there was to be a deal done between these two teams, I definitely feel like they would be offering Andrew Wiggins up for Jrue Holiday, which, again, really every day of the week, the New Orleans Pelicans are most likely going to decline. So I just don't see a way where this deal does get done, and I don't necessarily think it makes the most amount of sense. Like, to take on Wiggins' contract and to really convince the Pelicans on trading one of their best players, they're going to have to offer a couple picks or something like that. I mean, they're expected to be really good. I wouldn't even be surprised if the Pelicans ask for that number 2 pick that they do have. There could be a huge deal that would be like, well, you can give us Wiggins and we can, and that number 2 pick, and we'll give you Jrue Holiday and maybe, who even knows, maybe they're, number 11 to 14 pick, whatever they have at that type of thing. I think that would definitely be an interesting one. Like, the Pelicans would move into the top 3 from the current pick that they have right now, which is not exactly too valuable, while also getting Wiggins, who can be their new starting shooting guard. And who knows, maybe this could be a way of the Pelicans saying, well, we can give Jrue Holiday up, who's aging. We'd have to take on Wiggins' contract, but we could bring in James Wiseman, who would be our future starting center and would build an extremely good young core. I could see something like that happening, but again, that's just extremely unlikely. That's just me, throwing stuff out there right now, because I honestly can't think of a way where this deal does really get done. But of course, at first, I was kind of like, well, should the Golden State Warriors, try and find a way to do this? I'm still, on the way of no. I still would really like to see Klay play that shooting guard position. I think that's what he is really, he's really built for, is to guard the shooting guard position. I don't think it makes sense for him to be partnered up against players like LeBron James or, etc. So I don't think it necessarily makes the most amount of sense at all. But of course, if the Golden State Warriors still wanted to try this experiment, I could see them doing it, because of course we didn't exactly get to see Steph play really much at all with DAngelo Russell. Like, I believe they only played about 4 games, so we never really got to see if that small ball lineup could have been a, team that could have potentially tried to make the playoffs or something like that, because again, they, at the start of the season, were going into it saying, we've got Draymond, we just signed Willie Cauley-Stein, we've got Steph, and we've got D'Lo, but D'Lo and Draymond keep having injury issues. I believe Cauley-Stein was out for quite a while, and then they ended up, trading him to the Mavericks, and Steph was out for the whole entire season, so they never really were any chance of making the playoffs in the end. But again, when Steph came back at the end of the season, we never got to really see him play with D'Lo, because D'Lo was obviously traded for Wiggins. So I'm still very interested to see, well, what if they would like to give this really small ball lineup a second go, but with a much better defender in Jrue Holiday? Of course, I still don't think the Pelicans are going to do it. I wouldn't think it's the worst idea, but I'm still not too sure why. I just feel like Klay would be such a better option to go and run at shooting guard. But of course, I definitely would really like to hear all you guys' thoughts and opinions on it, down below. So definitely don't forget to comment your thoughts and opinions. Do you guys think the New Orleans Pelicans should trade Jrue Holiday? Do you guys think the Golden State Warriors should be trading for Jrue Holiday? Again, I definitely would really like to know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. But also don't forget to subscribe to the channel for all the latest sports related content. A lot of NBA. Hopefully maybe do some NFL content very soon. Also don't forget to leave a like if you guys enjoyed the video. Again, I definitely really appreciate it. But also don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel, MIRL/Flowing channel. And don't forget to check out my podcast as well if you haven't already. Links for them are all in the description down below. But as I was saying, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.